Hello again, third part. I have to read it now from my laptop, okay? Okay, I'm repeating the last paragraph. Now, you are being called on to overcome the identification with form, while still respecting it is for its richness and beauty. Understanding the consciousness behind form allows us to love all humans in their diversity. Peace does not mean simply not making war. It consists in becoming what you collectively are in reality, a fraternity. The solutions available to achieve this are decreasing, but one that could still catalyze it would be open contact with another race that would reflect the image of what you are in a deeper reality. Expect for rare occasions. Our past interventions intentionally had very little influence on your capacity to make collective and individual decisions about your own future. This was motivated by our knowledge of your deep psychological mechanisms. We reached the conclusion that freedom is built every day as a being becomes aware of himself and of his environment, getting progressively rid of constraints and inertias, whatever they may be. However, despite the actions of numerous brave and willing human souls, those inertias have been successfully maintained for the benefit of a growing centralized power. What is your situation? Until recently, mankind lived in satisfactory control of its decisions, but it is losing more and more the control of its own fate, partly because of the growing use of advanced technologies that affect your body as well as your mind, and will eventually have irreversibly lethal consequences for earthly and human ecosystems. Independently of your own will, your resilience will artificially decrease, and you will slowly but surely lose your extraordinary capacity to make life desirable. Such plans are on their way. Should a collective reaction of great magnitude not happen, this individual power is doomed to vanish. The period to come shall be one of rupture. This break, however, can be a positive break with the past as long as you keep this creative power alive in you, even if it cohabits for the time being with the dark intentions of your potential lords. What now? Should you wait for the last moment to find solutions? Should you anticipate or undergo pain? Your history has never ceased to be marked by encounters between peoples whose discovery of one another occurred in circumstances of conflict and conquest. Earth has now become a village where everyone knows everyone else, but still, conflicts persist and threats of all kinds get worse in intensity and duration. Individuals who have many potential capacities cannot exercise them with dignity. This is the case for the greatest majority of you, for reasons that are essentially geopolitical. There are several billions of you, but the education of your children and your living conditions, as well as the conditions of numerous animals and much plant life, are under the thumb of a small number of your political, financial, military and religious representatives. Your thoughts and beliefs are modeled after partisan interests, while at the same time giving you the feeling that you are in total control of your destiny, which in essence is the reality. But there is a long way between a wish and a fact when the true rules of the game at hand are kept hidden. This time, you are not the conqueror. Spreading biased information is an effective strategy for manipulating human beings, inducing thoughts and emotions, or even creating organisms that do not belong to you is an even older strategy. A great roller wave is on the horizon. It entails very positive but also very negative potentials. At this time, wonderful opportunities of progress stand side by side with threats of destruction. However, you can only perceive what is being shown to you. The diminishing of many natural resources is inevitably and no long-term collective remediation project that has been launched. Ecosystem exhaustion mechanisms have exceeded irreversible limits. The scarcity of resources, whose entire price will rise day after day, and their unfair distribution will bring about fratricidal fights on a large scale from the hearts of your cities to your countrysides. This is the reason why, more than ever in your history, your decisions of today will directly and significantly impact your survival tomorrow. Hatred grows, but so does love. That is what keeps you confident in your ability to find solutions. However, human behaviors formed from past habits and trainings have great inertia that leads to a dead end. The critical mass has not been reached, while the work of sabotage is being carried out cleverly and efficiently. Okay? You entrust your problems to representatives whose awareness of common well-being inexorable fades away before corporate interests. These putative servants of the people are far more often debating the form than the content. Just at the moment of action, delays accumulate to the point when you have to submit rather than choose. This inertia is in many ways typical for any civilization. What event could radically modify it? Where could a collective and unifying awareness come from that will stop this blind rushing ahead? Tribes, populations, and human nations have always encountered and interacted with one another. Faced with the threats weighing upon the human family, it is perhaps time that a greater interaction occurred. There are two ways to establish a cosmic contact with another civilization, via its standing representatives or directly with ordinary individuals. The first way entails fights of interests. The second way brings awareness. The first way was chosen by a group of races motivated by keeping mankind in slavery, thereby controlling Earth's resources, its gene pool and the mass of human emotional energy. The second way was chosen by a group of races allied with the cause of the spirit of service. Some years ago, we did introduce ourselves to representatives of the human power structure, but they refused our outstretched hand on the basis of interests that were incompatible with their strategic vision. That is why today individuals are to make this choice by themselves, without any representatives interfering. What we proposed in the past to those whom we believed were in a capacity to contribute to your happiness, we propose now to you. Few of you are aware that non-human creatures have been involved in the centralizing of power in your world and in the subtle taking of control. These creatures do not necessarily stand on your material plane, which is precisely what could make them extremely efficient and frightening in the near future. However, also be aware that quite a few of your representatives are in fact fighting this danger. That not all alien abductions are conducted to your detriment, and that resistance also exists amongst those dominance-orientated races. Peace and reunification of your peoples would be a first step toward harmony with civilizations other than yours. I have to interrupt again.